my beautiful souls. You are listening to the Messy Human Tarot, and I am your host, Ruby. We're in my office, the car. And now I just want you to know, if you like anything you hear, please like, comment, subscribe. I am not an LMHC, doctor, financial, legal advisor. All choices are your own. Treat this as entertainment value only. And, well, we're all just doing the best we can with whatever we have, with whatever we feel, whatever's currently going on in our lives. This is all timeless in general. And I'm going to say this right here, right now, is I genuinely believe in a lot of this stuff. I keep getting the sign for Gebo, gift, the Tower card, the tornado symbolism has been okay, so as an augur witch, a medium, and a tarot reader, I do automatic writing. There's a lot of stuff I do, and I keep track of what I sense. And so this is currently a big deal time period. Like, right now, this is Tower card energy. This is Kali energy. This is tornado energy. We're in tornado weather, which means that there's going to be a big impact in your life. It's going to happen. You are going to be safe, though. The universe, is constantly, whenever I say that, there's always a sign right after I say something like that, and then 67, literally in a license plate. This happens so often. I'll say something on a video, or while I'm doing automatic writing, or paying attention to what's going on, and then if that picks up, if I pick up on the Tower or Kali, say, but you're gonna be okay. But you're gonna be okay. But you're gonna be okay. It's going to be okay. 999. You are connected to a higher part of who you are. Your higher mission is kicking in. You are on target. You are doing okay. I know it's scary right now for a lot of us who are going through this big change energy. It is. Oh my God. For whatever reason, the universe is also to kind of push me to throw this out there. If you are interested in showing up on my show, feel free, to comment about it. So I can't just choose anyone. We got to be a good fit, clearly. But so there's a couple of psychic readers I would love to have on my show that have incredible energy. I think her name is, so she's there's 13 Moon Tarot, and then there's White Feather Tarot. I think that's her name. She's got, oh my God, great energy. There's a couple, Nordic Light Tarot, I believe. Oh my God, I'm really bad at remembering names. ADHD brain, man. And I feel like there's some level of collaboration going on between you and the universe or other people. And it's going to be really relevant to what's going to happen next. Don't mind me. I'm always multitasking. It's really bad. I feel like the universe has been continuously saying that too. Slow down. Take a deep breath. It's okay. It's totally okay. So maybe the real reason for why they're oh, girl, you can't help yourself, right? You just want to talk, don't you? Well, if you're going to talk and we're going to channel some stuff, you better tell people it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It really is. But yeah, I would love to have someone, even though it's just it's just, I don't know, I'd love to have someone join me for my show. Sometimes think about that, we're oh, these people are awesome. I'd love to talk to them about the tarot and the science and all that, and blibbly, blobbly, bloobly, bloobly, and dreams, and things we have dreams about. Oh, Loki joined me for my dreams last night, by the way. It was really cool. Like, apparently, so, this is crazy, 3113 just popped up as I'm talking about Loki, but I'm going to let myself be an ADHD brain person right now, just so you're forewarned. So last night I had this really cool dream where, you know Mark Hamilton, who played Luke Skywalker? So, okay, starts out like this, right? He in his Jedi older version is standing on something, like, and does this weird thing where he flops or whatever, but I see him, right? I have recurring Jedi dreams. Don't ask. Okay? And then it kind of switches over to Loki, and someone's asking me about Loki and about his history, and I'm like, oh, well, he's been on this, like, you know, a lot of people have been focusing on villains becoming good for the past, like, year and 4 months. For whatever reason, like, people are really drawn to that. And he's actually, and at the same time, I knew when I was saying that to this other person, I knew that meant, like, Loki energetically has gone through his own, like, coming of age type of energy, like, where he's done this major shift where he is, like, okay, so in the dream, there was this girl, like, he's a girl dad now, apparently. I really actually do think this is real. Like, I think that he had, spiritually a daughter. She's, Ice, an ice little, like, teeny booper goddess, and she's cute, and she's adorable, and I'm like, okay, well, this is obviously going into my spirituality, of course, because I really do believe he visited me last night and he was showing off his dad prowess at being a really good dad. I do not know her name, but she was super sweet, and he's been a dad for like again for the past year and a half or so. She looked kind of like a preteen, so I guess maybe she came out of his head or something, or foreskin, and boom, right? I'm sorry, YouTube probably will want me to retcon that, but you know, and the thing that I really love about mythology is it's always up to reinterpretation. And I know for some people who are really strict heathens, like, they might see Loki in a bad light, they're like, oh, he's evil. But I mean, if we look at Christianity's been kind of like gone through its own reinterpretations, and then we also too look how Christianity had an impact on paganism. Like they have taken pagan themed rituals and then outlawed them and then taken them back, or not, you know, kept them and just turned them into more Christian stuff, you know. But also too, like, things are influenced by everything. Like, you know, if we look at the growth of culture is constantly expanding and changing, and so too, our stories, our cultural stories, are constantly changing and growing and expanding. I mean, that's just the reality, and I just went the wrong exit. Great. It happens. I don't care anymore. I really don't. Sometimes we go the wrong way. It's just okay. It is perfectly okay when we go the wrong way. But then again, I was under Loki's influence. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so it's not changing. Whatever. Unless I did go the right way and I thought I went the wrong way. That does happen too, if you think about it. Like, we sometimes think we're going the wrong way, and it turns out to be perfectly okay. Yeah, I went the right way. Okay, good. Yeah, the moral of the story, don't channel and drive at the same time, right? But, yeah, I'm being ADHD, and I have a lot of coffee in me, so we're going to keep trying this. But to get back to Loki is, like, there's been a lot of, like, think about that time period. Like, there's a lot of lost history. Like, there was a point where we were we're oral traditions mainly. And when things are oral traditions and the people who maintain the stories decide to change the stories, that maintain and then change the stories, or even like say like Christians come in and they record it differently. I mean, the facts are facts, is that it is so hard for history and historical mythologies to be perfectly maintained, like immaculately. It's plumb impossible. Like, there's a lot of things that we kind of like go, I wonder if this happened or that happened. It's so hard. You can't just look at a time period you were never in and be like, oh, I know exactly how they were feeling in the exact time point. That's just not possible. It's just not doable. And so if you think like that, like, oh, well, there's room for interpretation. Like, what if Loki wasn't seen as a bad guy, but as part of the natural duality that is part of life, like life and death, and like the seasons. If the seasons are constantly changing, there's a god for the underworld, Hades, and then his wife. You know, that beautiful woman's name I struggle to pronounce, who's got a duality nature of the spring and then the winter. Like, life and death, man. Life and death. So why is it so hard for some traditional heathens to be so rigid? I mean, like, if you think about it, that's what caused Ragnarok, is rigidity and the inability to adapt to change. Because that's what happened. That is the tower. That is literally the tower moment. The tower is about incoming change that will force a complete restructuring of what was into something different. And when you see the tornado, it is gonna happen. You cannot stop a tornado from happening, guys. You cannot. And then afterwards, you have to pick up the pieces. Like, these are very tower-like facts. Things change. They do. And we have to assume that with Loki, that he, in order to survive, he had to change with the times. And he recognized that people would see him as a villain. And that's exactly what happened. You know, because it was a time period that we at least know for sure, mostly know for sure, that people were really into, like, devils and, like, saying, you're the devil, you're a wicked witch. I mean, we know, like, at least we know, like, a while back ago in Salem history, like, women were villainized, right? And natural healer type women were burnt at the stake. And it wasn't just women, it was some men and women. And then there were certain parts of the world that had less witch hunts because those individuals were fairly tied closely to the success of their community. You know, if I'm remembering this shit, then yeah. But I mean, like, think about that. Like, to survive, they didn't need Loki. I mean, he was expendable. I know you guys are gonna be like, this is not part of the sagas, whatever you call them. My brain does not work like a normal human being. I am very neurodivergent, so I have like replacement words for things, and sometimes it's called whatever that is called. So bear with me. 2-2 balance. We're gonna win this, guys. Whatever is going on out there in this great energy, we're gonna win this. But yeah, so he's kind of been like fixing up his image, which you can see with Marvel. I mean, like, seriously, like he's kind of won a lot of people's hearts. Like, if I could, I would make a specific Loki tarot just for, I have ideas. I've written down ideas. I have fantastic ideas that I would love to work with someone on, by the way. Like, pretty please, if you love art and you love Loki, please reach out to me. Maybe we can work together and, you know, split the profit. Come on, man. Come on. 50-50. I give you the ideas and you make something amazing with it, okay? Because I have ideas. I really do. Like, I have come up with a whole alternative romance just for this god. Maybe that's why he had a kid again. He's like, oh yeah, this is my third wife. Yeah, like, I got remarried. Yeah, you like her? I'm like, yeah, sure. I really do actually like Medusa. She's fabulous. You know, I think she's a great woman. I'm sure a lot of people have their opinions about Medusa, but I literally have in my head an alternative mythology for this dude, because I feel like I'm very Lokian. Where are those people that reinterpret things, you know? And they just 59A, which means I have to go into this lane, and it's right there, man. Can you just let me through before I F myself in the a-hole? Whew. Behind 227. So part of connecting with our intuition is having balance, but we need balance to connect to our intuition, and blah 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 blah. All right, so we did that. We did the hard part, right? We did the hard part. So, and I literally think like Loki and Michael are bosom buddies, like quite literally. And I know it sounds really weird. I really do. I understand that some traditionalists are going to get really testy with this, because they're not going to get it at all. And that's okay. If you love your traditional Norse paganism, if that makes you happy, then keep doing that. There's nothing wrong with it. But for me, it wasn't making me happy. I love creating new ideas, new stories constantly in my head. So and it actually helps me remember the traditional stories a little bit more, because then I look at them and I try to I literally break them into pieces and look at every little, it's so funny, it's hilarious what I do. Balder, seriously, how I remember a story was breaking that story apart and looking at the mistletoe and what the mistletoe means, but also too, looking at weird, parts of the story that made no sense. At some point, I think it was in the beginning of the story of the Eddas. There we go, there's that word. Odin was traveling and came across the story, and they were waiting for their king and saying yeah, he's not arrived yet, but this is beautiful land with these beautiful people. We're waiting for this wise king. And this light bulb went in my head, because I started connecting dots, and I was thinking, oh my God, Freya doesn't want her baby boy to grow up. She doesn't want him to leave the house. Oh, that sucks. That's tough. I totally resonate with that, because it's hard for change to happen. It's really hard when our babies have to grow up. It's really hard to, even for us, when we have to go and do new things and try new things and meet new people and say goodbye to the way things used to be, right? So she's gone. But the reality, though, is you can't hold back your son from happiness. And without meaning to, she was. And this is why I think Loki's the good guy. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like Loki found a way of freeing Balder. He created a tower moment for Balder so he could go on and be happy. So he could get married to this beautiful woman and rule over these beautiful people who needed this wise ruler. And beautiful times, beautiful ways, and beautiful days happened because Loki was dude, this is beautiful woman, Nana, who really is into you, and she's not gonna wait forever, right? Good people, good women don't wait around for homeboys who don't do their laundry, who don't leave the house. Some will, but women like Nana, no. She's gonna find a really good man. You got to set your mom straight, and if you want Nana, you're gonna have to leave your house. You're gonna have to go and live in another woman's family's house, which is what they did back then. So it wasn't the woman left for into the man's household. It was the men. They went into the woman's household. And so he's like, but I like it here. It's comfy. I know where everything is. My mom makes me food. She knows how I like to my meals to be made, you know, and I get to have my special seat cushion and everything. And he's like, dude, I know you like it. I know, but you like Nana, right? He's like, yeah, I really like Nana. I'm like, she's really a sweet gal. I would love to marry her. And like, dude, get out of your mother's house and go into her household. That's how it works, man. Grow up. So he did. He grew up. He grew a set of balls. Which is why a lot of traditionalists are going to get mad at me. Because, I mean, like, the reality is a lot of us ignore interesting, important details because those details go against our biases, go against our set beliefs, go against our agendas. But like, the facts are, they had a different culture than we did, and it's folly to think that we Americans can actually really understand what it was like to be in their culture. Like, there's a lot, like, even if we can, like, you know, do like the character acting and we get into the role and la-di-da-di-da, there's gonna be a lot of missed details, like really important details that will make it hard for us to understand what it's like to be in their shoes. It just will be. And because also too, like, different parts of the world with Nordic culture, like, they had varying cultures among their own culture, like you know, like dialects, right, in a language. Like, if you go to Boston and Worcester, the sounds are very different, right? So it makes it even harder for you to actually really know what it was like to be them, right? And you see this in other cultures in different time periods where they had a strong emphasis of a different god and goddess, or the gods and the goddesses had different names and looked different, because that's life, right? Depending on who you are, depending on, you know, things are going to feel different, and your culture shapes a lot. Who you are as a person shapes a lot as who you are. So it's okay if you want to be a traditionalist, but you're not really a traditionalist, because the real traditionalists were people in that time period. I'm getting like this image of the universe, like writing down a seal of approval. Like, here is your prescription, our seal of approval. You can go ahead and do that. You have the seal of approval to live your life as you want, but do not be arrogant and say you can't think this way or feel this way because you did not live in that time period. You do not know, and you'll never know what it was like to be in those people's shoes. That is just a reality. So, for instance, for me, like, coming up with my own mythology of, like, you know, Medusa being the new hot babe in Loki's life, having a kid, that's totally okay. I like to think that he would find happiness, because if you look at Ragnarok, a lot of people died. Like, he went through a lot of grief. He lost a lot of his kids. He actually lost a couple wives. Like, he didn't actually have, from what I could tell from the research I did, and I could be wrong because I was not in that time period, but from what I could tell, like, he actually was a widow. He married, and then she died, and then he had another wife. Well, she could have died too. We don't know, right? Really, it wasn't poly. He wasn't a poly person. I know it seems like it, but I mean, there's a real possibility that she was a warrior woman, and she died in battle, and she was victorious, or she got reborn and she experienced extreme trauma, and she took on a new name to reflect who she had become, which is more docile and quiet because she experienced a lot of pain and suffering. I did a lot of research into mythology, and I have a couple of different theories on what could possibly be, where you have this goddess who went through multiple rebirths, and so he could have maybe not have been a widowed. He could have maybe actually never had lost his wife, but maybe she just went through a lot of revisions, as some women do, right? You know, maid, mother, crone. Trauma can really have a severe impact on a woman. You know, the woman you married when she comes back from Iraq, probably a very different woman. You know what I'm saying? And from what I can tell, the Ironwood Witch experienced a lot of trauma by Odin. And I'm not a very blamey person towards Odin. I actually like Odin. I have a really good relationship with Odin and Thor. I call it the divine theater, where these gods and goddesses take up on roles and play out themes to help us better understand life. And for me, I feel like for the divine theater, like, Odin took on a role to help me better understand the impact on trauma on the woman's psyche, and how you can also to have a very understanding, loving individual for a woman who could be a really good father figure, but also to a really good husband. So, who can be very complicated in himself and have a healthy relationship with the divine feminine within himself. So I know, if you could let me talk for a very long time about mythology. And so when I get really into mythology, I get really into it. Right now I'm all about the Nordic mythology. I'm really into it. And there's been times where I've been really into Greek and Roman and really into Hindi. But right now it's really all about these dudes. I absolutely adore them. I think they're amazing. I feel like I really relate and connect with this version of the divine theater. It feels to me like right now they're trying to play out, like they're trying to lead me to Ragnarok and to remind me that after the tornado and the Tower card, good things do happen. Because in my dream I had Loki visit me, right? Like, you know, things happen, life happened, and he did okay picking up the pieces. He had extreme trauma. He took care of himself. He took a year and a half to just focus on himself to become a better person. And then he had a kid. Like, I don't know her name, but she seemed really nice and really happy. And I love that. Okay, so I have to get to the end of this. And I'm sorry if the sound quality sucked during this. I'm using my old phone, which has no minutes on it, but has a recording device on it. The other phone is like so low in battery power. Like, this is the problem with today's age, is these phones that we pay a lot of money are shit quality. And so, like, I'm unimpressed with our technology. I feel like if we're so advanced, our things would last longer. They really would. Yeah. Yeah, we're not so advanced. And that's okay, because we're still figuring things out. And things right now are currently allowed. And poor quality is definitely part of that divine theater. I'm like, sorry, but it's so true. And it sucks so bad. But yeah, I feel like I have to wrap up. I have a hard time, like, stop talking. Like, that's the thing that's why I love being the Messy Home Tarot and being Ruby for you guys. If at any given point you are interested in anime services, feel free, look down below. The reason the email and the text is the price as it is I'm going to be going through a revision of it, like, of that. So it looks pricey, doesn't it? Yeah. So I have to go through a revision of it because, like, the universe is currently in the flow of training me into certain skills. And so I thought, well, like, sometimes, like, we do things like it's like I hadn't yet figured out stuff. And so, sorry, I'm so tired, but when I like doing remote. I don't really like when people see my face, as you can tell. I know I'm gonna have to get used to that at some point, but I like doing ready-made orders. And as I really recently realized that as I've been practicing my automatic writing, automatic writing is very different for me than doing what I'm doing right now. It's very different. The energy is very different. It happens so quickly. And I was caught off by because I used to do it all the time, right? And it, you know, and then I stopped and then picked it up again. And I was like, well, for I'm not saying like it's going to be cheap because it still takes energy, but I'm saying it might be cheaper. So give me time to figure out the current cost of it. If you need more of an affordable price, go the way of my automatic writing. Really, that's where the affordability will be. I know it sounds crazy and silly, but it's true, because when I talk, I expend more energy. And so ready-made orders are going to be more expensive because I literally have to make time for it. I literally have to create an appointment. I literally have to do that sort of thing. Like, it is. Like, that's why, like, tarot readers, when they have an office and they have a space you can come into, that's why they're so expensive. They're paying rent on that space. And it's why, even though, like, you're thinking, well, this is pricey. Well, actually, my prices are cheaper than other tarot readers because I do ready-made orders. If I didn't do ready-made orders and I had an office, it would be double, maybe triple that amount. So, like, and I noticed one of the complaints that some psychic readers have is people are constantly looking for free readings. That's why we have YouTube, so you can get those free readings. However, like, we are all, like, in this together. We're all trying. I can create some kind of different, like, options for people who are looking for more affordable prices. And that's going to be the automatic writing. Wow, 5.5, huh? Okay, cool. So, like, I haven't figured them out, but you can ask me and I will figure it out, and we'll figure it out, and you can tell me, like, if this fits your price range. I will not do any haggling. No, I cannot do any haggling. If you get a freebie, it's going to be a rare thing. It is not impossible. I do free readings once or twice a year, but it's for select individuals who have earned that right to get those free readings. It's for people that have done the time. But they're not impossible. I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's more like a lottery. The universe is like, ding, pick this person, ding, pick this person, ding, pick this person, and I cannot shut up for the life of me. So I will make myself shut up. So I wish you all may me blessed be, amen, to good health, and adios, 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 adios.